Good morning, everyone. I have an exciting video to share with you today. Not. This is my most least favorite thing to do, I think, in the whole world, is going through all my papers and decluttering them and figuring out what needs to go in my archive files. Um, so, yeah, this is what it normally looks like. It's kind of full. I need to get last year's stuff out of it and figure out what needs to go in on my archive files. And my handy dandy little paper shredder there is actually full, so I need to empty that before I can even get started. But I gather because you are watching this video, you are looking for some tips on how to, get your papers in order, and hopefully I will be able to do that for you. Now, I have a business, so I keep track of all my bills and receipts and stuff, and I have to save those for my taxes. And I have an archive file system where I have bins that I put all my old files in that I have to keep. My current bills I keep in a folder in that binder there. So after I pay my bill, I put it away in the folder here, and once a year I go through this. That's this time of year, and I reset for the new year. So I'm going to get started here by pulling out one section at a time and going through them, and then hopefully I will be able to get through this all today. And I'll do all the shredding that I need to do, because I shred anything that has any personal information on it that I don't need. And yeah, so I'll check in with you in a little bit. Hello, everybody. This is, I don't know, the next day, I guess. I've started going through all my files in my file drawer. And I have a little pile here, which is recycling. And I have that pile there, which I have to shred. And I have over here a pile of stuff so far to go to my archive files. So with all my financial stuff, I find this is an opportunity to double check to make sure that I have everything recorded properly. I have an Excel cash flow program where I record all my bills and my receipts. And I did find a mistake in one of them. I was a penny out. So that's one thing I find when I go through these. And the other is sometimes I find files that have been misfiled. Papers end up in the wrong folder. So that's another reason for going through everything. And it also gives me a chance to review my finances, review my investments, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to check on you before I start shredding everything. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick check-in with you. This is a couple days later. I've been sick this week, so I'm feeling a bit better today. I'd already done a whole pile of shredding, as you can see there, and I have a little bit of recycling. And I'd started going through my archive files there and purging as much as I could out of that so I could make room for last year's stuff that I need to keep, because you need to keep 7 years worth of stuff for tax purposes. I found this pile of stuff here that I think I can shred from several years ago. And I did want to mention too, you do not need to keep credit card statements unless you have, as soon as you check everything over and make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be, that they're all legitimate charges, and you pay for your bill, you can basically get rid of that. The only time you might want to hang on to some type of a credit statement is if you have used it to buy a business expense, and then you have had to pay interest on it if you haven't paid it off right away. So anyway, so this is where I'm at right now. I went through all the folders in my current drawer over here, and my house is looking a mess. I'm trying not to show you everything. Total disaster in here. That's the way it goes. But anyway, so there's my archive files, and I'll be putting those away shortly, but just got a little bit more shredding to do. And well, here we are back at my filing drawer. It has been completely gone through, and I've purged as much as I can. I filed last year's bills and things away for tax purposes in my long-term storage. And I have lots of room here so I can put this year's bills and things in. Now, this system has worked well for me for several years. I've got rental properties and businesses, so I need to have a lot of room for this kind of stuff. If you don't have a business, you don't need to have a full file drawer or anything set up like this. You may be able to get away with having just one binder and, like something like this, just have one binder with your paperwork in it. Or you might be able to get away with a little accordion file thing like that to keep your bills in and your healthcare papers or whatever you need to keep. You can minimize it or make it work for however you need to work for your life. So having said that, I will just explain a couple things here. I have got a blue section, which is all financial stuff, bills and business related. And the purple section is I'm going to call this my fantasy life right now, because it's got my travel section stuff in there, which hasn't happened yet for some time. And well, I'll keep my fingers crossed this year. By the end of this year, hopefully I'll be able to travel somewhere, if not before then. And also, I have a hobby, doing genealogy, and I have had it in my current drawer here all last year and didn't do anything. So that's why I call this section my fantasy life. I'm still hopeful that this is going to change this year and this is going to happen. All the yellow folder stuff is just reference stuff for my writing and my blog and household stuff. So I've pared that down quite a bit. This binder here is all reference stuff for my blog, and then I just have extra file folders in the back there. So anyway, that is it for my filing purge and reset for 2022. I hope you've got some good tips, and I'll see you in the next one.